Yeah, I've been working really hard today. I'm just getting back from the greenhouse area, and here's my harvest for today. I got some okra. You can hardly see it, can you? I got okra today, cucumbers from the garden today, tomatoes. I just got a good little harvest today. It's full, and that's my okra, cucumber, and tomatoes. And oh yeah, all that hard work paying off. And I got about 3 containers like this here within the last week. And I'm going to be doing some canning today. Here's my mason jars right here. Mason jars. Let me just take one out. Hold up for a minute. I had to buy some more. Here's my mason jars where I'm going to pickle some. I'll be pickling some of my okra today that I got out of the garden. I'm going to pickle some okra today. That's what I'm working on this morning. Pickling some okra, and I've already have pickled some cucumbers. See, there's my pickled cucumbers right here. I've been pickling cucumbers already. That's my pickled cucumbers right here. And that's what I'm doing from the harvest. Because how many of you know, we don't know what's getting ready to happen in this world. And let me go and wash these cucumbers off while I'm talking to you all. And we had better be proactive in what's going on, is what I'm saying. And if you don't plant a seed, you're not going to get a harvest in this season. And that's what I would advise anyone to do. You know, I'm just washing everything off. When I picked them, I had someone that I wasn't feeling like working one day. I had this guy to go over there. He helps me out a lot. And I said, well, pick the vegetables that need to be picked, right? And so he picked my baby peppers. And I said, man, why you pick those baby peppers like that? And I said, those peppers are going to get real big. But it's okay. You got somebody that's willing to help you, and they make a mistake and do something, you don't be too hard on them, because that's your help right there. You know, sometimes people don't have anyone to help them. And it's a blessing just to have somebody to help you. So I thank God for it. And I have a harvest to show for it today. And there's cucumbers and tomatoes. I got a little bit of plastic thing on the floor. Still walk on it. Water going to get on it. When I'm in this kitchen, water be everywhere. But how many of you know you got to be proactive in this season, right? And we have to do what we have to do. So, you know, you're going to need food. And what if there's a food shortage or something in the land? I'm just saying. You never know what's going to happen, right? So I'll just rinse these off real good, because I'm going to parboil. What I'm going to do, I'm going to parboil. The water going to be hot enough just to take the outer skins off of the tomatoes. And I'll make tomato sauce and tomato paste out of the tomatoes. Okay? It's a way to do things if you research it. Especially if you're growing a lot of them. Especially if you're growing vegetables. You have to do the research to find out what you can do with everything that's in the garden. Everything that you grow. Most of it, likely you can can it. Let me say it again. Just about everything that you can grow in a garden, you can can it. You can get you some mason jars. You can get you some mason jars like this. And it's a busy day for me today, but guess what? At the end of the day, if I'm going to do what I should do, I have pickles. And these are like sweet and salty pickles all together, and they're really good. And if you want a jar, let me know. Excuse me, I'll be back. You have to get this clean out my stopper from the sink. But I'm just taking you all along with me this morning. If you can learn something, you can learn something. You can learn something from anyone. Anyone can teach you something. Excuse me. We can be taught by anybody, okay? We can be taught by anyone. But the thing is, are we willing to listen? Are you willing to listen? And if I had not planted a garden this spring, I worked hard to plant the garden. And on top of that, I ended up getting sick. But if I had not planted a seed, I wouldn't have anything that I can harvest and can. So I'm just going to just re-rinse all of these. See, this is a whole container. I can always mop the floor. This is just a whole container of actual yellow cucumbers. There's a such thing as really yellow cucumbers, and I planted some. And of course there's okra, cucumber in here, mainly cucumbers and okra. And I'm going to be pickling all of this today. So I'm just, and there you go, baby. I got to wash it again, rinse it off. I don't want any trash on my stuff when I'm getting ready to pickle it. I want it to be real clean. And I sprayed everything down with bleach solution and everything just to make sure that my work area is set up so I can get things right. So right now, what I'm doing, I'm just washing these okras. This is like the second time I'm washing them. My okra and my cucumber. I just want them to be clean. I really want them to be nice and clean. You see, these are some, what you call them? Red okra? Red okra. They're really good and tasty though. Yeah, I know I'm making a mess. Water dripping everywhere, but I'll mop it up. It's no big deal to me. It's just a kitchen. And so, I mean, plenty of okra. You know, I didn't know. Boy, once those okras start producing, once they start producing, you all, those bad boys producing, they ready. That's how I wash my okra and stuff off. I shake it around like it's a wash machine. I want to clean it off real good. I really don't need the gloves on, but I put the gloves on because the okra still be sticking me a little bit. So, and I really need to cut. I got my kitchen things in here, and I really need to cut. Yeah, I don't want them long like that because I'm going to pickle. I want them to look pretty. So, I don't want them all stuck out like that. I'll just cut the ends off. See there? I don't want them looking like that. I cut that off. I'm just going to cut it off. Keep on moving, baby. I don't have all day to play around with okra. So, I'm just preparing my okra, the okra right now. Making sure I wash them off real good and get the big stems off the end of them. Just cut it off because I am going to be putting them inside of the canning jars and getting them ready to get pickled. And the way I do it, I don't have a pressure cooker. I use a big pot like this. And I put the jars down in the pot like this. When I get ready to put them on overheat for about 20 minutes to make the jars seal, the mason jars to seal. In about 20 minutes, they're ready. And those jars will store these okra, the pickled okra, for about 2 years or longer. I know on the label it said for 18 months. So, but I've had I've seen people that pickle a lot of different things. You can pickle just about anything. And this stuff still be good to eat years later. I mean years later. It will last for years. But that's what they just got some instructions on the jars that I was paying attention to. See, this okra is kind of busted up and right. I'll compost it. I don't want it. I want my okras to be solid. I don't want them falling apart because I just don't want them all busted up. I want them to be in real good shape when I get ready to put them in the jar. So people, I just kind of wanted to take you all along just for a few minutes this morning to show you what I'm doing and that you can do it too. You can also do it also. You just got to put your mind to it and put a little work into it, and you'll always have some food. My thing is, you'll always have food. And I'm just rinsing the okra off again because the next step is to be putting them inside of a mason jar, and I'll be pouring a hot solution of brine over these okras. And the brine, the only thing the brine is like, the way I make mine, I'll put like, depending on how much I need to make. It definitely depends on how much you're making. I'll put, let's say, 3 cups of white vinegar. Let me show you. Just a minute. I'll put like 3 cups of white vinegar in a pot. 3 cups of white vinegar, okay? Just white vinegar. This is where I make my brine to pour over my okra, my cucumbers, whatever I'm getting ready to can or pickle. And depending on how much liquid brine you need, I would put like, let's say, 3 cups of white vinegar to about 4 cups of water. It all depends on what type of taste you want from your pickles or your pickled okra or carrots or whatever, beans. It all depends on what you're making, really. And if you like to have a real strong vinegary taste with vinegar, you put more vinegar. And when I get ready to actually, in the bottom of each one of these jars, when I really get to that step, I will have a couple of garlic cloves in the bottom. I will put some dill, like for dill pickles. I'll put some dill in there and some peppercorn. Well, sometimes I'll put peppercorns in there. You know the peppercorns? I'll put just maybe 5 or 6 in the bottom of it to give it a real peppery taste. But I like the taste of garlic, so I'll put my garlic in there mainly. Some cannon salt. It's called cannon salt because you can't really, I don't use this here iodized salt in anything that I can. I use the regular cannon salt, and I just put enough in there for the taste of the pickles. So when I get to that step, I'll probably come live again to show you all step by step how I can my vegetables. And you know, I can keep these things stored up for a long, long time. For a long time. And have food to eat. If a hard time come through, I know somewhere I can go and grab me a jar of okra and eat it. Or what have you. Tomatoes. Cucumbers, carrots, beans, peas. Because you can can anything. You can can just about anything that you're growing in your garden. And I'm still sweating because I've been out there in that garden. I've been picking these vegetables. And I went fishing this morning for about 3 hours. The fish not even biting. I caught a crappie and a little brim. And then everything else looked like was biting was like turtles and baby fish. So I told my cousin, I said, cuz, I said, I'm getting ready to leave. She said, cuz, I'm right behind you. I'm leaving too. I didn't want to stay out there, and I need to be home doing this. I need to be home, get my stuff ready to can. So I'm glad I'm free to do this here because it takes some time to do it. You have to have some time to do it. And I like it. I really like doing it because I'm at home and I'm doing something. It seems like as fast as I can get it somebody want it. Somebody always want it. And I'm like, I don't know about that. Giving all my stuff away. But I'm not giving it away. They pay for it, believe that. But these are actually, which is amazing when you start growing things and you research them. Actually, there's yellow cucumbers. And these are not no cucumbers that can turn yellow because they've been in the garden too long. You know, when you leave cucumbers on the vine too long and they're already ready for picking, they turn yellow, hard, and bitter tasting. Let me show you something. Let me give you an example of what I'm telling you about the yellow one. I don't want to cut up my big one, so let me do this one. Let me do this for you. Hold up. Hold up. Bunch of samurai swords in this here drawer. I got what I need right here. You see this bad boy right here? Watch this. Show you that it's not no rotten cucumber. See there? And it's yellow. That's the way it's made. And the seeds are nice and small still. And a lot of time, this is not a bitter cucumber. This is a good cucumber. Now, let me open it up for you to see what I'm talking about. Down the middle. You see? This is a real yellow. You can Google it yourself. A real yellow cucumber. That's what it is. Seeds are still nice and tender and small. Now, if you mess around, let's say you mess around and leave this here. You leave this cucumber on the vine too long, and once this starts to turn yellow, I don't want no cucumber like that then. This is real bitter tasting. But this here is a good cucumber for salads, and you can pickle this. I always cut mine up in like spears, 4 in half and then in 2, because that's just the way I do it. That's the way I do it. So, let me get these things rinsed off, you all. Hold up. Bear with me, because I got a whole container right here that I need to wash off. I'm not complaining, though, because this is my harvest from planting seeds. You can't get a harvest if you don't plant any seeds. So, that's what I do. Because I know, hey, some of these okra is like split. And I don't want to deal with those. I'm just going to put them in my compost bin. I just want solid okra. That's all I want. I don't want the long stems on them. So that's what I'm doing. I'm cutting them off. And I picked all size cucumbers today too. So, if you didn't, like some of my inboxers, some of them ask me, and sometimes I got peppers in my garden too. I'll put a pepper in the bottom of them if I want them really hot. If I want some heat on them, that's what I'll do. I'll put a pepper in there. And one of my inboxers, really and truly now, was asking me, how do you grow those vegetable seeds? And some people, they just don't know how to plant and grow things. Excuse me, let me find me a little plastic bag, because I need to put this here. It needs to be in my, well, I'll just put it aside in this bowl for now, because I'm going to keep all this here for my compost, my composting. I don't throw anything away. I keep everything for composting. for my composter. I got a composter that I put it in at the greenhouse. Let me move this knife out the way before. I don't want it to fall on me and cut me. But like I was saying, these are actually yellow cucumbers, okay? And I harvested a lot of cherry tomatoes and small Roma tomatoes, you know. This is a different type of tomato. It's long. It's like a Roma tomato, and these are the round ones right here, cherry tomatoes. So, y'all just have to excuse me. I be using bleach and bleach spray and everything. I got bleach water in here. This is super something, but I know what's in it. Bleach water in there. I tell everybody what's in it too. Oh, my pine saw falling out. That's just how I do it, you know. With COVID in the land, I just do stuff totally different. I ain't gonna lie to you. You gotta do it different. You gotta have some bleach floating around somewhere. That was good for you. You better have some bleach floating around. Sometimes even with bleach floating around, you end up getting sick sometimes. You don't know. So just be real careful, people. Be real careful. I'm getting ready to rinse another batch of vegetables. I'm getting ready to rinse another batch. And I'm just going to have to do something here. This is too small. And I better separate them right now. I need a container for my cucumbers. Put the cucumbers in here. See, I'm working. Good enough now. Throw my cucumbers in here. I already washed all these off, so. That one look kind of scrawny looking right there. I think we have to put that in the compost. You want that one. Once I separate them like this here, I'll rinse them again. You see, that's the okra I'm talking about that look like it's turning yellow looking. I put that in the compost. I don't want that either. And then that's going to be my tomatoes. So, okra, cucumbers, and tomatoes. And here's a few peppers. I may just drop one of these whole little tiny baby peppers in there too, just for the seasoning. And for it to be pickled with it, you know. So I think what I do, I put a couple in there with the cucumber, put a couple in there with the okra, so when I put it in there, I'll know maybe to slice them up and just let it for the seasoning of the pickled okra. And man, pickled okra tastes good. And the reason why I had to investigate pickling of okra, because it was my brother one year, he told me that sometimes, you know, when you leave your okra out on the thing too long, that's why I try to pick my okra on time, because I don't want to be pickling even a hard okra. But when you pickle them, it's different. It's still good. And I tried it. You know, when you let an okra stay on too long, it become firm. But if you can't snap the tip, you see this big okra? And if I try to snap this tip, and if it doesn't snap with a minimum amount of pressure on the tip, it's too hard. So let's see. This okra is too hard, but it can be pickled. I don't have to throw this thing away. It can be pickled. Okay. And this is the harvest from today. This is the fresh harvest from today. I haven't rinsed them or anything. Straight from the garden. And this is some type of cucumber. They grow long in this size. And this is another different type of variety of cucumber here also. It's kind of like light yellow and green. And here's the yellow ones. And the red okra. So I'm going to rinse out and tomatoes down in here. So here we go. Come on. Here we go. So come on. Oh, Jesus. Here we go. I mean, they're beautiful. I like to sprinkle salt. It's just a habit. When I'm doing something like this, I always get me some salt. And when I'm cleaning stuff from the garden, in case some bugs on it or something, you know, I put salt on it in case some little bugs on it to kill the bugs and get the bugs off my stuff. Yeah. It gets kind of messy though. Especially with me in there trying to rinse them off real good. In case a bird done flew over, you know. In case a bird done flew over my stuff. I be thinking about that. And use the bathroom on my okra in the garden or something like that. I'm not playing around when I'm in the kitchen trying to clean stuff off. Because I know I got to eat this stuff. I have to eat it, you know. And a lot of water got inside my gloves. It's not going to work. Not going to work. Too much water got inside the gloves. Sorry about that. Got to get me some more gloves. But I may be able to work with the okra now without any gloves on. As long as they're not, I don't really feel that sticky feeling that's on okra. I don't feel it now. So I can just keep on rinsing. Keep on rinsing. See, this thing is full. I can't put anything else in it. So I need another container. Oh well. Alright, these are coming out now. It's probably like most of the day. I guess I'll be through with this here probably in about maybe 4 hours. Maybe 4. Maybe I can stretch out and rest after 4 hours. Maybe. I don't know. So, here's the okra. Here's my okra. Straight from the garden, baby. I didn't have to buy them. Straight from the garden. I don't know where my other colander, what happened to my colander. I have one colander here to strain it, but I need another one. I guess I have to buy me another one because I definitely need more than one. Because this is not working for me today. Not working for Priscilla at all. But cucumbers, they're so pretty. Those cucumbers are beautiful. Look at there. They're beautiful. Beautiful. And that's my cucumber bucket there. So, I'm just rinsing them off. Rinsing them off real good. Rinse them off again. I'll be rinsing them again. Right before I start cutting them, I'll rinse again. That's the second rinse for these cucumbers already, but I know what I'm doing. No rush. When you get ready to can something, don't be in no rush. Just take your little time. Have plenty of time to burn. Because you're making something that you're going to eat and your family going to eat. So I'm really, really careful about that. Got a bunch of tomatoes. Look, just showing you what a little hard work will get you. It'll pay off. That hard work will pay off. Look, that's my tomatoes. That's the little bit of small Roma tomatoes and the cherry tomato. And I'll take these little ends off. You know these little things right here that's on that. Throw it in the compost bin. It's fun. It's a little fun to it. It all depends on who you are and what you're looking at and what you're trying to accomplish. What you're doing. And I know, in the wintertime, when there's ice outside, and the garden is all froze up, I can go somewhere in a cupboard around here somewhere and get me some tomato sauce. Because that's exactly what I'm going to do with these tomatoes. Or I'll just put them in I'll parboil them just enough to get the skins off the outside of them. Because the skin will just fall off sometime. with hot water. And the whole tomato, I will put maybe a half a teaspoon of pickling salt in the bottom of my mason jar. Maybe a half. And I'll just put those tomatoes in there and put them in a pot like this here. Let the water boil for about 20 minutes to seal them. And I got me some tomatoes, and I can just put them in anything. I can make soup with it or eat it straight out of the jar if I want to. They really are tasty. It tastes really good eating them straight out of the jar. They sure do. So I'm through rinsing those, and I'm going to get ready to rinse them again. I just want to show you, I'm getting ready to wrap it up, people. I just want to show you that there's a way for you to preserve your vegetables, okay, in this season. You can your vegetables from your garden. You may give some of them away. People may give you a small donation for your vegetables or what have you, because you did work hard to get them to grow. And whatever the case may be, when it's all said and done, you're going to have a lot of food. And you're going to have to find something to do with it. And you preserve it. Only thing you're doing is preserving it. Just like I made my pickles. My dill pickles here. Made from cucumbers, spears, and slices in here. And I'm just a little time. And it's sealed. See? When you seal it, this is not supposed to pop back and forth. So it's sealed. And the pickles are delicious. Let me show you something. I mean, they're good. Hold up for a minute. You see? This jar is almost finished. Once I open the jar, I put it in the refrigerator, right? But I want to show you something. And it's wonderful to look at the hand. You know, the work of your hands a lot of times, it's just what makes it all worth doing. And you can just get you a fork, and I'm going to show you something. I'm trying to get me a pickle out of here. And this is like a baby pickle, whatever you want to call it. This is like a little baby pickle here. Well, it's not a baby. Wow. Man. Gotta be more careful. Ooh, it's so good. And I'm not exaggerating. It's got a, the way I made this batch, the brine, I put sugar in it. In my brine. The brine is the liquid made out of vinegar, sugar, whatever else you want to put in your brine. And sometimes you can put a lot of different ingredients in there and then strain your brine and pour the hot liquid over your cucumber in a mason jar. But you got to sterilize these. I got to sterilize these bad boys because this is a whole new thing of mason jars that I purchased a couple of days ago. I have to sterilize those first in a solution of bleach water and blazing hot water all the way across the top of it. But these pickles are really good. You can make your own pickles. You can make your own pickles and they taste so good. My pickles, they're better than the ones in the store. And that's no joke. Because I know how to make them. And so, man, I got to get me another one. My goodness. I'm not playing. This is my hard work. These are sliced pickles. I worked real hard in that garden. You all see me over there working, digging, and using the pickaxe, and then I got sick. But this is how I get paid back. Woo-wee. You better be more careful. My goodness. Woo! A lot of people say they want a job here. Well, get with me. Wow, thank you, Jesus. And this is a hot batch. Got some red pepper in it. It got a little fire to it. Got a little kick to it. It's probably going to be finished by tomorrow. I'm the one going to be eating it up. Amen. All right, people. And where am I forever advancing yourself, people? You all know how we do this thing. We take it from level to level to level to level. What level you going to take it to? And all this here came out of the garden. All of it came out of the garden. Isn't that just amazing? That's awesome, isn't it? So I'm getting ready to pickle me some okra. Gonna make some more pickles out of these cucumbers. I'm gonna make me some tomato paste out of the tomatoes. And have my music on in the back playing. Keep on praying for people with COVID or any type of sickness all over the land, so they can get up out of these hospitals and live again. With that said, people, thank you all for viewing the video. And a little hard work, a lot of hard work, it will pay off in the end. It'll pay off. It will pay off. Fresh from my garden today. Fresh from, they so good. Whether you fry them, whether you pickle these okras, or whether you boil them. Either way, they're good for you. And I'm probably going to have me about 15 or 20 jars of food stacked up around here somewhere before it's over with. And I got a new system of plants coming up. And I guess I'll be harvesting them in early or late October before the frost come in. I planted zucchini, squash. I planted some more corn and what else? Can't plant anything that's going to go 120 days before you can harvest it. What else I got? Some beans, sweet potatoes, and they're growing so pretty. And so that's like you get 2 harvests in a season. If you start early enough, but you all know with this climate change and all this junk going on with the temperature, it's been really, really hard for me this year with the garden. But it's just by the grace of God, I still got a harvest out of it. And praying for my second harvest, my zucchini plant. I got one big zucchini off of it the other day. Hold up for a minute. I'm going to try that zucchini plant today. Where is it? I'm going to leave it out. Ouch! My goodness, bumped my head on that refrigerator. Man. Probably knocked some blood out the back of my head. Came up on that thing like that. But anyway, that's the only zucchini I've gotten out of that garden. I had it in the refrigerator, but you know what? Before it gets soft, I'm going to fry it today. How about that? I'm going to do something with this bad boy. I'll bake it or something. I can't let this spoil. That's a beautiful zucchini. They say it's a squash, but I call it a zucchini because that's what it is. So I'm going to leave it out so I can see it. And I'm just going to have my little hands busy all day long. Be praying for me, people. I got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of work to do. But guess what? I'm going to get it done. Thanks for watching, people. God bless you. Bye-bye.